Hey there! Will Smith talks about I Am Legend 2, but there's also new info on Deadpool 3, Zack Snyder's new 300 sequel, Johnny Depp as Satan, and plenty more, now in the KinoCheck news. Now it's official. Will Smith confirms the previous rumors about the plot of I Am Legend 2. The story is said to pick up on the alternative ending of its predecessor. In the 2007 movie theater version of the horror thriller I Am Legend, the main character Robert is attacked by the infected and dies. However, the alternative ending, which was only included in the home cinema version, tells the story in a different manner. In it, Robert sets his captives free, and the alleged monsters disappear again. He sets off with other survivors on a journey to one of the last camps where other humans still exist. The sequel I Am Legend 2 is to follow on from precisely this ending, as Will Smith announced at the Red Sea International Film Festival in Saudi Arabia. Smith will be joined by Creed actor Michael B. Jordan in an undisclosed role. Early rumors suggest he could play Robert's son. The eagerly awaited sequel still remains without a director, so it will probably take some time before we can finally watch the movie on the big screen. Ugly or cute? That's the question. Deadpool 3 is back with a new image. In addition to Ryan Reynolds as Wade Wilson, we also get to see his new sidekick, Dogpool. His verdict on Instagram: looks like avocado, tastes like dog shit. Dogpool has previously made appearances in several Deadpool comics and is a member of the Deadpool Corps. His distinctive appearance is the result of experiments with cosmetics, which eventually mutated him and gave him the power of self-healing. After Deadpool 3 had a more than messy first production phase, shooting is now back in progress. We can therefore expect some new impressions from the film set in the near future. In addition to Dogpool, other heroes will also be featured in Deadpool 3. Alongside Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, Elektra, played by Jennifer Garner, will also make an appearance. There are also rumors of a reunion with Ben Affleck's Daredevil, Ghost Rider, and Gambit. Fun chaos appears to be inevitable. We look forward to the hopefully final theatrical release of Deadpool 3 on July 26, 2024. Will we be able to watch the final part of the 300 saga after all? If director Zack Snyder has his way at least, as he has now regained the rights to Blood and Ashes. With the extremely bloody 300, Snyder created a movie that is still very popular to this day. Almost 8 years later, a sequel was made with 300 Rise of an Empire, for which Snyder only worked as a producer. In the years that followed, the director devoted himself mostly to the superhero genre. Nevertheless, he continued to write a 300 sequel at the same time, which was to be called Blood and Ashes. Blood and Ashes is about the love relationship between Alexander the Great and his general, Hephaestion. According to Snyder, the movie was intended to be something between a love story and a visually stunning war epic. However, after the breakup with Warner, the project was put on hold for a while as Snyder lost the rights to his own work. However, it now seems that we might get to see the movie after all. As Snyder revealed in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, he was able to regain the rights and is now looking to realize the project elsewhere. He said he didn't know what the marketplace for an incredibly homoerotic, super violent, super sexual movie would look like, but maybe it would be perfect. We can easily imagine that the film could be made in collaboration with Netflix. After all, the streaming service and Snyder have already teamed up successfully for Army of the Dead and the science fiction two-part film Rebel Moon, so the chances for another 300 movie aren't that bad at all. News from the world of the friendly spider. Amazon is currently developing a Spider-Man series for which a special co-showrunner has been secured. As Variety reports, Steve Lightfoot, who was also responsible for the Punisher series, will be involved in Spider-Man Noir. It was announced back in February of this year that Amazon was working on a series adaptation of the popular character. Spider-Man Noir is an alternative version of Spider-Man and has already been seen in Sony's Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Now, the character is to be given his own series set in 1930s New York during the Great Depression. Besides Silk, Spider Society, Spider-Man Noir is one of 2 projects to be made by Amazon. It is currently not known whether other characters from the Spider-Man universe will also make an appearance. After all, Sony holds the rights to the majority of the characters. Barbie has made over $1.4 billion, and many are wondering, will there be a sequel? According to Margot Robbie and Greta Gerwig, it might turn out a little differently than expected. Margot Robbie keeps saying the same thing about Barbie 2. The first part is a movie that stands on its own, Everything had already been put into it, and she cannot imagine a sequel. In the program, 60 Minutes Overtime, director Greta Gerwig and her co-writer Noah Baumbach talked about the project. They also discussed the things that didn't make it into the finished film. The two had plenty of other ideas for the character of Ryan Gosling's Ken, especially for the Ken effect in the real world. There was even a scene in which Ken meets the real Ryan Gosling. The actor was the preferred choice for the role from the very beginning and was already mentioned by his full name in the first draft of the script. According to Gerwig, they had far too much material on the character. At this point in the interview, Baumbach interrupts his partner, telling her not to give too much away. When asked whether a separate Ken movie was planned, the director laughs, saying she couldn't comment on that. If a Barbie spin-off with Ryan Gosling were to happen, however, it would probably take some time. Gerwig has recently signed a contract with Netflix to direct 2 new The Chronicles of Narnia movies. Johnny Depp could soon be taking on a very special role. The popular actor is set to play none other than the devil himself. According to Variety, cult director and former Monty Python member Terry Gilliam wants to cast Depp in his next movie, Carnival at the End of Days. At the Red Sea Festival, he described the plot as follows. God is wiping out humanity because they have ruined Earth. The only one who wants to save it is the devil. After all, without humans, he would have no job for all of eternity. So Johnny Depp, aka Satan, looks for a few young people and tries to convince God that they are the new Adam and Eve. The 83-year-old Gilliam is convinced that he could persuade Johnny Depp to star in the comedy. The two have already worked together on the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus and his initially unsuccessful Don Quixote film. The disastrous filming was perpetuated in the film Lost in La Mancha. Years later, he was still able to bring The Man Who Killed Don Quixote to theaters, but with Adam Driver and Jonathan Pryce in the leading roles. The director is definitely persistent, and there's a good chance that we will soon be able to see Johnny Depp as the devil. Carnival at the End of Days is still in the early stages of development, meaning a release date is not yet foreseeable. Angelina Jolie is returning as the dark fairy Maleficent. The actress has now revealed that Part 3 of the Disney film series is currently in the works. The fantasy film Maleficent was released in 2014 and was a huge success for the studio. In it, Jolie plays the eponymous evil fairy, who made her grand entrance as the villain in Disney's animated classic Sleeping Beauty back in 1959. The live-action movie was followed by Maleficent 2, Mistress of Evil in 2019. Since then, many have been wondering whether the series will be continued. In an interview with the Wall Street Journal, Angelina Jolie stated that she currently has 5 projects scheduled, with Maleficent 3 being one of them. According to rumors, Jaume Collet-Serra is on the shortlist to direct the project. A date for the theatrical release of Maleficent 3 is not yet known. After all, Jolie has 4 other movie projects to complete. She has a speaking role in Kung Fu Panda 4, for example, which is due to be released on March 29, 2024. In addition, she is currently filming the Maria Callas biopic Maria, working on the espionage thriller Maud vs. Maud with Halle Berry, and the drama Every Note Played with Christoph Waltz. Thanks to the Comic-Con in Brazil, we've got tons of new trailers for you. For example, make sure you check out the trailers for the Fallout Amazon series, as well as the one for Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire, for some awesome action. You can find all the release trailers here on our channel. And of course, we also want to know what you have to say about this week's news. So drop a line in the comments and let us know your thoughts. We look forward to your opinion.